All right, we're going to go over 11.2, the comparing data. And we really don't need any new info. We talked about some of these things already of how box plots split things up into 25% chunks. So from the mid to the lower quartile is 25%. From the lower quartile to the median is 25, median to upper is 25, and then upper to max is 25%. So it's giving you a better visual of the chunks of those data. So they're trying to answer some questions of the amounts raised by a random sample of 30 students. Does the data support Caitlin's claim that students at her school are raising more for charity than Phillips' school? So, you have the same maxes and mins, but you got to kind of figure out some of the other pieces here. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to just scroll it out to write it in. We'll zoom back in. But for the min, it looks like we're at 21, 2, 3, 4, 5 for both of them. Here we go. Our quartile 1 in Caitlin's school is at 32. At Phillips' school, looks like it's at about 41, 2, 3, 4, 5. Median we have at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 45 for Caitlin's, and right at 50 for Phillips. Upper quartile we have at 52 for Caitlin's, and at 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, looks like 56. If you're off one, we're okay here. And then maxes are both at 68. So when we're looking at the data from that, then, we could answer some questions. So it says, which high school has a greater percentage of students who raise more than $45? So there's your $45 mark. For Caitlin's school, there's 25%, 25%. For Phillips' school, you have a 25, 25, 25. Zoom it back in. So when we're looking at it of which one had a greater of more than $45, we're at Phillips' school, and that was equal to 75% of the students raised over $45. So if I'm trying to answer the question of which one raised more, or does the data support Caitlin's claim that her school is raising more money? No, it doesn't, because it's showing for the higher amounts, only 50% of her school raised above $45, where Phillips' school, 75% raised over $45. So that gives us an idea there, and shows that Phillips is going to raise more money. So similar with the other ones, we're looking at the same sets of data that we're trying to figure out. Not exact same numbers, but we're looking at chunks of data that we're trying to figure out here. So if I have here, which data set is a greater percent of its values less than 85? So here's our 85. Now it's not exactly precise on B, but for A, sorry. For B, you have the 25 and 25. So that's 50% for A, or for B. I don't know why they're flipped like that there. For A, here's your 25 and here's your 25, but it's not a full 25. So B actually has more data that is less than 85, because you could look at A, we could guess at what this is, but the 25 is from there all the way to the median. So there's a chunk of it that would be not under 85. So maybe say it's 35% or 40, whatever it is, but it's still not as much as letter B. So similar idea here, which data has a greater percent of its values greater than 66? So here's our 66 line. B has a 25 plus 25, which would give us 50%. A has 1, 2, I'm just numbering, 3 sets of 25, which would give us 75%. So A has more values that are above 66. Right? For 4, which data set has a greater percent of its values less than 40? So again, we're going for, here is 40. Now this has a 25 and a 25, so it has 50% less than 40. This has a 25 and part of a 25, so we'll call it maybe about 35. right? But the greater data set is in group B. So, and I would do these things, draw the line to see, okay, I have a full 25 and 25. Okay, remember, the size of the box does not mean there is more data in there. It just means the data is more crammed in between every min and lower quartile, lower and median, any of those dots and lines, that's 25% of the value. Doesn't matter the size. Okay, we're not talking about physical area here. So you just got to kind of check and take a look at it. Okay, so that's really it with it. When you get to your Delta Math, they'll ask you some similar questions with it. It's nothing too in-depth with it. Just take your time and kind of look at each problem one by one, draw the lines if you need to, add up on your calculator your 25s, just take your time with it. All right, have a great day.